What if I told you that on some planets you could jump over 50 feet into the air, and on others your feet would barely lift off the ground? What if one wrong jump could send you floating into space forever? Gravity isn't the same everywhere, and what you're about to see will change how you understand reality itself. This is the solar system like you've never experienced it. Gravity is the invisible force that shapes everything we know. It holds oceans in place, keeps moons in orbit, binds stars into galaxies, and here on Earth, it limits us. The average human can jump just about half a meter, 1.6 feet, straight up. That's not much. But what if you took that same jump and placed it on Mars, on the Moon, on a frozen world spinning in the dark corners of our solar system? Each celestial body has its own gravity, its own rules, and if you dared to jump there, the results would be extraordinary. Some jumps could feel like flying, others like falling into a pit, and in some places, you might not come back down at all. Today, we'll travel across the solar system, one world at a time, to find out how high you could jump and what those jumps reveal about the very nature of space, mass, and time. Ready? Because what you're about to learn might just defy your sense of reality. Our journey begins with Mercury, the smallest and closest planet to the Sun, a rocky, cratered world scorched by solar radiation, and yet its gravity is surprisingly forgiving. On Mercury, you could jump nearly 1.2 meters, about 4 feet, into the air. That's more than double what you could do on Earth. You'd feel lighter, faster, almost superhuman. But the real danger here isn't how high you can jump. It's what surrounds you when you land. By day, the temperature climbs to a brutal 800 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to melt lead. But don't expect relief at night. Without an atmosphere to hold heat, it plummets to negative 280 degrees. That's a swing of over 1,000 degrees every single day. And here's the part that truly bends the mind. One day on Mercury lasts 176 Earth days. If you stood on the surface and watched the sun rise, you wouldn't see it set again for almost 6 months. Imagine leaping under a sky that never changes on a world where time itself feels broken. There's no air, no wind, no sound, just you, and the crushing silence of a planet locked between fire and ice. It's the perfect place to test the extremes of gravity, but it might also be the last jump you ever make. Venus is the brightest object in our night sky, after the Moon. It looks peaceful, almost divine, but the moment you set foot on its surface, it becomes clear. This planet was never meant for life. With a gravity just slightly less than Earth's, your jump wouldn't change much, maybe 1.7 feet straight up. But here, height is not the danger, it's everything else. The pressure on Venus is 92 times that of Earth. It's like standing 3,000 feet underwater. Your body would be crushed within seconds. The atmosphere is dense, choking, and made almost entirely of carbon dioxide. And the clouds, they don't bring rain, they drop sulfuric acid. The surface burns at 465 degrees Celsius. That's over 860 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than Mercury. Not because of proximity to the sun, but because of a runaway greenhouse effect so extreme, it turned the planet into a furnace. And even if you had a way to survive the heat, the pressure, the acid, you still wouldn't see the stars. The skies above are forever choked in thick, yellow clouds. Day and night blend into a never-ending glow. No blue sky, no sunset, just permanent twilight. Venus is nearly identical in size and mass to Earth. Some call it our sister planet. but it's more like a warning of what a world can become when nature spirals out of balance. You could jump here, yes, but you'd never feel light, only the unbearable weight of a planet that tried to be Earth and failed. We've looked at it for thousands of years, worshipped it, written poems about it, but until we stood on it, we had no idea how alien our moon truly is. With just 1/6 the gravity of Earth, a human jump here would launch you nearly 9 feet off the ground, not just higher. Slower, you'd rise in silence, float in mid-air for several seconds, and then drift gently back down, like moving through a dream. But dreams can be deceiving. The moon has no atmosphere, no air, no protection from cosmic radiation or solar flares, and its surface, covered in regolith, a fine electrostatic dust, is more dangerous than it looks. Sharp as glass, clingy like static. It wears down metal. It gets into joints, helmets, lungs. It's not just lifeless, it's hostile. And yet, it affects every ocean on Earth. It pulls our tides, stabilizes our axis, and, quietly, it's drifting away. 3.8 centimeters every year. That might not sound like much, but fast forward a few million years, and Earth's nights will never be the same. The moon isn't just a satellite, it's a part of us, physically, gravitationally, historically. And when you leap on its surface for just a few seconds, you feel what it's like to leave Earth behind. Mars, the red planet. A world we've imagined living on long before we ever sent machines to explore it. And maybe, one day, we will. With about 38% of Earth's gravity, a jump here would lift you nearly 4 feet off the ground. Not as high as on the moon, but still enough to feel weightless, to feel different. But gravity isn't the only thing Mars does differently. Its atmosphere is thin, about 1% the density of Earth's. So thin, in fact, that sound barely travels. Your footsteps would be muffled, your own breath loud inside your helmet, but the world around you silent. As the day fades, you'd witness something truly strange, a blue sunset, while Earth's sky turns orange and red. On Mars, the dust scatters light in reverse, and the sun dips below the horizon in a calm, icy glow. Rising in the distance, you might glimpse Olympus Mons, the tallest mountain in the entire solar system, a volcano so massive it stretches 3 times higher than Everest, and so wide it could cover the entire state of New Mexico. But Mars isn't just majestic, it's unpredictable. Its surface is scarred by ancient floods, carved canyons, and global dust storms that can last for weeks. One moment, clear skies. The next, total darkness. To jump on Mars is to feel the pull of a world that once had rivers, lakes, maybe life. A world frozen in time, but waiting. Maybe not for us, but for someone. Orbiting just above Mars is a moon unlike any other, Phobos. It's not round, it's not large, and it's not safe. This tiny potato-shaped moon is just 22 kilometers wide, barely big enough to hold its own shape, but it does have gravity, just enough to pull you down, and that's where things get risky. Jump here, even with moderate strength, and you could reach escape velocity. A single, strong leap could send you drifting off into space. No air, no way back, just you, floating, watching Phobos shrink behind you. Forever. The surface is covered in dust and craters. It doesn't spin. Instead, it shows the same face to Mars at all times, locked in a death spiral, because Phobos is falling. Every year, it inches closer to Mars, pulled slowly, relentlessly by gravity. In 30 to 50 million years, It will either crash into the red planet or break apart into a ring of debris. Yes, Mars may someday have rings, and those rings will be made of this very moon, a place where one jump can set you free or end you, a world so small it can't hold itself together, yet still dangerous enough to alter the skies of another planet. Phobos isn't a destination, it's a warning. In the vast emptiness between Mars and Jupiter, a quiet giant drifts in the dark. Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt. But don't let the word asteroid fool you. Ceres is much more. It's a dwarf planet, massive enough to be spherical, yet light enough to let you jump like a superhero. Here, a single jump would launch you nearly 16 meters. That's over 52 feet into the air. You'd rise slowly, watch the surface shrink beneath you, and for a brief moment, you'd feel like you were flying. But what lies beneath Ceres is even more intriguing. Its surface appears dry and cracked, but scientists believe there's a briny ocean hidden beneath its crust. Not pure water, but a salty, chemical-rich liquid that may hold something. In 2015, NASA's Dawn spacecraft spotted bright white spots inside one of its craters, salt deposits possibly left by briny water erupting from underground, evidence that Ceres isn't just a frozen rock, but a geologically active world. And where there's salt and heat, there might be the ingredients for life. Ceres makes up 1/3 of the total mass of the asteroid belt. It's not a random rock, it's a relic, a survivor from the birth of the solar system. To jump on Ceres is to defy gravity, to hover weightless over a forgotten ocean on a silent world that still holds secrets from a time before planets. Now we arrive at the king. Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, a gas giant so massive it could fit over 1,300 Earths inside it. But here's the truth. You could never land on Jupiter. There is no surface to stand on. But if you could somehow jump within its upper atmosphere, just above the endless clouds, your feet would barely leave the ground. 6 inches. That's all. Because Jupiter's gravity is 2.5 times stronger than Earth's. It pulls with unmatched force. It doesn't let go. Its atmosphere is a raging ocean of storms. Winds scream at 300 miles per hour. And then there's the Great Red Spot, a superstorm larger than our entire planet, churning non-stop for over 400 years. No one knows how deep it goes, or what lies beneath it. If you fell into Jupiter, you wouldn't hit ground. You'd descend into darkness, through layers of gas turning to liquid, then metallic hydrogen, until pressure crushed you beyond recognition. And yet, Jupiter protects us. Its gravity shields Earth from countless asteroids. It's both a destroyer and a guardian. Jumping here might be impossible, but even imagining it reminds us. Some worlds aren't meant to be touched, only observed from a safe, respectful distance. Because Jupiter isn't a planet, it's a force of nature. Orbiting the mighty Jupiter is a world so big, it's larger than the planet Mercury. Its name is Ganymede. And it's not just the largest moon in the solar system, it's one of the most mysterious. Despite its size, Ganymede has only a fraction of Earth's gravity. Jump here, and you'd soar nearly 10 feet into the air. You'd float, not fall, as if the moon itself hesitated to pull you back down. But this frozen giant holds more than just low gravity. Its surface is a frozen battlefield. Ridges, grooves, and scars crisscrossing ancient ice plains. But underneath that icy shell lies something extraordinary, an entire ocean, not a lake, not a sea, a global ocean buried deep beneath the crust, one that may be saltier than Earth's own oceans, one that might still be liquid and alive. And Ganymede is the only moon known to generate its own magnetic field. No other moon does that. This field creates glowing auroras at its poles, flashes of color dancing in the thin atmosphere. But why does it have a magnetic field at all? Is something moving inside? Something metallic? Something alive? Ganymede isn't just a moon, it's a world with layers, secrets, and possibly a hidden ocean where life could exist in total darkness. To jump here is to rise above frozen silence and to wonder what stirs beneath the ice. Few sights in the solar system inspire awe like Saturn. A pale yellow giant wrapped in rings, delicate, complex, and endlessly beautiful. But beneath that beauty lies a planet more extreme than it appears. Like Jupiter, Saturn is a gas giant. It has no solid surface to stand on. But if you could somehow jump near its upper atmosphere, your feet would barely leave the clouds. 1.4 feet. That's it. Because even though Saturn is less dense than water, yes, it could technically float, its gravity still pulls hard enough to keep you close. Not as crushing as Jupiter, but still unrelenting. Yet what truly sets Saturn apart are its rings. They stretch over 280,000 kilometers wide, but are only about 10 meters thick, as thin as a two-story house, made of shattered moons, icy debris, and cosmic dust. They're the remnants of destruction, or maybe the beginning of something new. And Saturn spins fast, so fast that its shape is visibly flattened at the poles, a world stretched by its own speed. It also has 62 known moons, each with its own story. But Saturn itself remains elusive, a planet of storms, mystery, and shadow. To jump here may not be impressive, but the world you'd be jumping into, that's where the weight truly lies. Because Saturn isn't just a planet, it's a monument to time, to gravity, to the quiet violence of the cosmos. Far beyond Earth, orbiting the ringed giant Saturn, there's a moon wrapped in fog, one that looks more like a planet than a satellite. Its name is Triton, and jumping here would send you soaring almost 11 feet into the air. The gravity is gentle, but the world is anything but peaceful. Its skies are thick with haze, its surface frozen and strange, a place that looks calm from afar but hides a storm of alien chemistry. Triton is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere, denser than Earth's. Its air is mostly nitrogen with clouds of methane drifting above frozen plains. But what makes Triton truly alien is that it has rivers, lakes, and even seas. Only they're not made of water. They're made of liquid methane and ethane. It rains gasoline, and in those alien lakes, waves ripple under an orange sky. The surface is solid, a crust of water ice, as hard as rock, but deep beneath it, scientists suspect there may be a subsurface ocean of salty water, one that could possibly support life. Triton is cold, extremely cold, minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, so cold your breath would freeze in the air and fall as shards of ice. But despite that, Triton feels strangely familiar. It has weather, it has seasons, it has geology. It's the only place in the solar system other than Earth known to have stable liquids on its surface. Some call Triton a mirror of early Earth, a frozen echo of what our own planet might have once been. or what another world could become. To jump here is to fly high through thick, golden air, and to glimpse a world that seems impossibly alien and eerily familiar. In the far reaches of the solar system, there drifts a planet unlike any other, Uranus. Silent, pale, and strangely tilted. It doesn't just rotate, it rolls. A jump here would take you just 1.7 feet off the ground, barely noticeable. The gravity is light, but it's the environment that truly defies reason. Temperatures on Uranus drop to a brutal negative 377 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than anywhere else in the solar system. It's so cold, scientists believe heat from its core barely escapes at all. And yet, deep beneath its icy atmosphere, something extraordinary may be happening. Uranus is what we call an ice giant. Its interior is made of water, ammonia, and methane, but under pressure, those materials act differently. Theories suggest that inside Uranus, it rains diamonds. Yes, carbon compressed into crystal form, falling like glitter through layers of liquid ice. The planet's atmosphere is calm on the outside, but stormy within. Winds reach 560 miles per hour, swirling beneath pale blue clouds laced with methane, and its axis tilted at 98 degrees. It doesn't spin upright like other planets. It spins sideways, almost as if something or someone knocked it over. Was it a collision or something deeper that reshaped its core? To jump on Uranus is to rise briefly above frozen nothingness, and then come back down on a world that doesn't follow the rules, a planet that turns its back on the sun and holds its secrets in silence. At the edge of our solar system, where the sunlight fades into cold shadows, lies a world of wind, pressure, and silence. Neptune. Jump here, and your feet would barely lift, just 1.3 feet into the air, because Neptune's gravity is stronger than Earth's, despite being smaller than Uranus. It pulls harder, deeper, heavier, but it's not gravity that makes Neptune terrifying. It's motion. This ice giant is home to the fastest winds in the solar system, up to 1,200 miles per hour, faster than the speed of sound. Storms swirl across its surface in shades of deep blue, with dark spots that come and go like ghosts. We've only seen them once, and then they vanished. Neptune is far, 30 times farther from the sun than Earth, and because of that, 1 year here takes 165 Earth years, a lifetime, without seasons, without change, just storms, wind, and waiting. Its atmosphere is a thick, icy soup of hydrogen, helium, and methane. But beneath that, some scientists believe there could be a slush of ammonia and water, perhaps even a rocky core we've never seen. Neptune's internal heat radiates outward, driving those endless winds. Unlike Uranus, it burns from within. To jump here is to barely escape the pull of a world that is distant, dark, and alive with chaos. A silent titan spinning at the edge of everything we know. Orbiting the icy giant Neptune is a moon that breaks every rule we thought moons should follow. Its name is Triton, and it's as haunting as it is unique. A jump here would take you nearly 19 feet into the air. You'd rise slowly, as if time itself had loosened its grip. Triton's gravity is weak, but its mysteries are heavy. It's the only large moon in the solar system that orbits in reverse, against the rotation of its planet. A retrograde orbit, as if Triton didn't belong to Neptune at all, as if it was captured. Stolen. Its surface is like nothing else. a jagged frozen expanse carved by forces we still don't fully understand. One region in particular has captivated scientists, a strange, cracked landscape known as cantaloupe terrain. Because from orbit, it looks like the rind of a melon, wrinkled, ancient, alien. But Triton isn't just frozen, it's active. Beneath its icy crust, pressurized nitrogen builds up until it erupts in geysers that shoot dark plumes 8 kilometers into space. Cryovolcanoes, volcanoes that don't spew lava, but ice. Triton might even have a subsurface ocean hidden beneath layers of frozen silence. And if it does, it could be one of the most promising places to find life this far from the sun. To jump on Triton is to float briefly above a world stolen from elsewhere, where ice behaves like fire, and the rules of moons no longer apply. At the frozen edge of the solar system, where sunlight is barely more than a memory, drifts a world once called a planet, then stripped of its title, Pluto. Cold, small, forgotten by many, but not by science. Here, your jump would launch you over 25 feet into the air. You'd rise in eerie silence, weightless above a landscape that looks like a dream carved from ice. Pluto's gravity is just 6% of Earth's, but despite its small size, smaller than Earth's moon, Pluto is full of motion. Its surface is a patchwork of glaciers, frozen plains, and towering ice mountains. One region, Sputnik Planitia, is a vast, heart-shaped basin of nitrogen ice, constantly shifting, constantly reshaping the land beneath it. And then there's the atmosphere. Yes, Pluto has one, but it comes and goes. When Pluto is closest to the sun, frozen gases on its surface sublimate, forming a thin, hazy atmosphere. But as it drifts away, that same atmosphere freezes again, falling silently back to the ground, like invisible snow. This is a world that breathes slowly, inhales as it nears the sun, exhales as it retreats. We once thought Pluto was dead, but the New Horizons spacecraft changed everything. It revealed a world more dynamic, more active, and more beautiful than we ever imagined. To jump here is to soar high into the sky, above a world dismissed by textbooks, but unforgettable to those who've seen it up close. Pluto may no longer be a planet, but it is, without question, a world. Far beyond Pluto, in the dark, icy reaches of the Kuiper Belt, drifts a world that almost changed everything. Its name is Eris, and it's the reason Pluto is no longer a planet. Discovered in 2005, Eris is slightly smaller than Pluto, but more massive, enough to force astronomers to ask, if Pluto is a planet, shouldn't this be one too? That question rewrote the rules, but Eris doesn't care about definitions. It orbits the sun from the edge of our solar system in a path so distant it takes 557 Earth years to complete a single loop. Here, your jump would send you soaring 18 feet into the air. You'd hang there in silence, with only the stars watching. Eris is cold, extremely cold. Temperatures dip below -400 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than liquid nitrogen. Its surface is covered in a reflective frost of methane ice, so bright it shines like a mirror in the dark. And beneath that frozen shell, we don't know. We've never been there. Some scientists believe Eris may have an internal ocean, or even a thin atmosphere when it gets close to the sun. But most of its time, it wanders alone, silent, undisturbed, unseen. Eris wasn't just a discovery, it was a challenge, a reminder that the universe is bigger than our categories, and that just when we think we understand the cosmos, it humbles us. To jump here is to leap from the edge of what we know into the unknown. You've just jumped across the entire solar system, from the crushing gravity of Jupiter to the floating silence of Ceres, to moons where a single leap could send you drifting into space. Each world revealed more than just numbers. It showed us how strange, violent, and beautiful gravity can be. A jump may seem simple, but in the right place, it tells you everything about the soul of a planet. And the further out we go, the weirder it gets. Out there, beyond Eris, there are objects we haven't even named, places that twist the laws of physics into something unrecognizable. And in our next journey, we're going somewhere even more extreme. But be warned, not everything we find will want to be found. If you made it this far, you're ready.